Welcome back to Wilson's Reviews, and tonight I am going to review Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. There you go. So yeah, I watched this over Sunday night. I didn't get to review it because I did a take and I checked it back a few times and I didn't really like it, so I thought I'd redo it. Anyway, so what is Anacondas the Blood Orchid about? But let's first talk about the first movie. So, I'm not sure why the studio felt the need to make a sequel to Anaconda, because it felt like the first one wasn't that good. It was okay, like average at best, but it's like, oh, well, that was successful in some way, let's make a different film. Okay, fine, I guess, but yeah, anyway, so the movie takes you to Borneo, where you find that this group of scientists and like other kind of researchers have found this thing called the blood orchid, which they've been doing research on and testing on, that it has the capability of possibly curing cancer. So they want to collect more samples in order to do more research and do more testing with it, and trying to get more further with it, like maybe possibly testing it on humans. So they decide to go build an expedition to go into Borneo, through the Borneo jungle and into the place where the blood orchid lives. However, they meet up with a lot of annoyed and pissed off anacondas that don't seem to be hunting them just for food, but for other things as well, which is, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on too much. Let's just talk about the film in general. Okay, so the cast is all different. There is nobody from the old movie, so that is a total damn shame, because, I feel or a sequel, like, you gotta at least introduce, well, not a remake, not necessarily, but with sequels, I feel like you need to have like this idea that you want to bring back some of the old cast to put the new cast over. Hence why the Star Wars: The Force Awakens worked well, because they used old cast to help the new cast get established. Even though the new cast really well acted, they were still elevated with the old cast. So that's what needed to be done in Anacondas, but that didn't happen. So in this new cast, you got Johnny Mesner, who plays Bill Johnson, who's one of the boat guys that owns the Bloody Mary. Katie Strickland, who plays Sam Rogers, who's the assistant to Jack Byron, who is Matthew Marsden. Carl Yoon, who plays Tran Wu, who is the co-captain of the Bloody Mary, alongside Bill, sorry. Eugene Bird, it plays Cole Burris, who is the tech dude, like pretty much the technology side of things, of like figuring out where the blood orchid is and the safest travels along the river, the Mandarin, I think it is called. Nicholas Gonzalez plays Ben Douglas, and another associate of Jack Byron, and Gail Stern, Sally Richardson, who is just this annoying, very, very annoying scientist who just is obnoxiously just does not shut up and is always so negative about everything. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass just to listen to her act, and she's very fucking annoying throughout the whole film. So that is a problem. But also the problem is that this cast is also very uninteresting and boring. The old cast of the Anaconda, although not as updated in the film, you had interesting characters. John Voight, who is an excellent villain. In this film, they really just try to establish the Anacondas as a villain, where it's not really a villain, it's just sort of a thing that just appears out of nowhere to kill these people. It doesn't really necessarily do anything to just go out of its way to attack people. Like, they're just hanging out and, like, they're chilling, and throughout the whole, and when you get to the film And the crux of it, you find out why it's attacking people, and it's mainly because it's mating season and all this other stuff, and there's heaps of these anacondas, and they all are bloody huge, and you don't know really why they're huge, but later on in the film they make a assessment that it's because of the blood orchid. They're able to live longer, which means they can grow larger. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know these things had growth hormones in them, but I liked the older film better because they only had 1 to 2 anacondas to focus on. Like, it's like, okay, there's 2 out of the whole bunch that are just freakishly huge. These ones are just like all bloody huge, and you're just like, well, and they didn't explain how long it had been since the last 2 anacondas. So, they could have explained that a little bit better. So there's like, okay, it was like 30 years ago since like the other anaconda incident happened. But yeah, just this film, guys, is so boring. All the characters are boring. They are all very uninteresting. Probably the most interesting is probably Bill Johnson, and even he is a bit uninteresting as well. Just like, he's like just the legit badass of the group. Like, it's like you gotta have that one guy that can kill shit in like horror films, I guess. So Bill is it, and you gotta have the annoying person, and it turned out to be an annoying scientist. You're also very fucking annoying, and we wish you died. Sorry. So all the women scientists out there, you're not all annoying. This particular woman that portrayed a woman scientist was very fucking annoying. You wanted her to die, but she doesn't. Out of the whole fucking film, out of all the people I wanted to die, I wanted her to die. And she didn't die. So, yeah, this film though, guys, it just has a lot of troubles of understanding like a simple like idea of like just to build a film around these snakes. Like in the old film, they built around these snakes by like saying, okay, well, we had one bad guy whose intentions was, I need to catch this fucking snake so I can get some money. Whereas on the other hand, the bad guy in the film, who turns out to be Jack Byron, just is so bloody uninteresting. He's like, oh, we're gonna go get this flower. We must get this flower. So I'm gonna screw you all over just so I can get it. It has nothing to do with the snakes. The snakes are just out there as an add-on. It's like annoying. It's just like this side quest. It's like, okay, I want you to walk in a straight line, but there's gonna be scorpions walking across the floor. So it's just like the quest to get to the next side of the floor, but you've got to walk over scorpions, which is just stupid. So it'd be walking in a line, but with scorpions. So that will be the title of the film. Maybe I should make a film like that. Anyway, so the stupid other parts of the film, just like the fact that every single time there is an anaconda shot, there's always a different head of an anaconda. The structures aren't like sophisticated. They aren't the same. If you're going to do an anaconda film and a snake film, you need to make every snake look similar in design, because if you're going with one type of snake, you need to have like in snakes on a plane, it's fine because there's several snakes. But this is like an anaconda, so you need to make all the snakes look like anacondas. Whereas like in one case, there's a shot in a film where the anaconda looks like it's got a friggin' diamond-shaped head, like a viper or something like that, which is really strange. It's like, no, anacondas don't really have that kind of shape of head. It can't. Sometimes it can look like it, but it's not really like if you go look at a viper head compared to an anaconda head, you can see the difference clearly. And just there's some shots that just aren't sophisticated enough of it. There are some good shots of anaconda looking like an anaconda, and there are some that just look a bit out there and stupid. So what else is just annoying about this film? The CG is pretty good for most of the part of this film. I will give it that. CG is clean and is crisp, and there are some good scenes like the boat scene where they fall off the freaking Mandarin waterfall. Then yeah, that was cool. There are a couple of, and then the lake scene where the old mate gets fucking taken by the anaconda for the first time. That was cool. Except for the friggin' like how the snake grabbed his head and just friggin' threw him into the water, which was stupid because I just didn't really see that. Like, anyway, that's my opinion. What else did I like about it? Sorry, I gotta use my notes. I wrote a few of them. I did like the locations were nice, and the color of the anaconda was really well thought out. They got the color down pat for most part of it, except for the head. Sometimes the head was like dark black and white tip of the mouth, so it looks strange. It looked like a viper. You can tell that in the last scene where they find the mother anaconda, the female anaconda that is just like having sex with all these male anacondas, which is fucked up. It looks fucking scary, but it's somewhat in a way like kind of cool. Like does look real in some cases with animatronics. They do use minimal animatronics, just not enough of them. But yeah, the last scene sucked. The ending of this film sucks so bad. I hated this ending of this film. It's just so bad. It's so unbelievable. Like how you can put fuel in a friggin' snake's mouth and shoot a flare in it and it lights up. The anaconda falls into the pit of all of the other anacondas and blows all the anacondas up. Really, the plot of this is just garbage. It's like you just make a film about running away, getting lost in Borneo jungle, trying to find help, and add anacondas in it. And it's just like, there's your film. That's about it. It's nothing else, really. Like, and one dude wants to get this flower, and he will kill people over to do that. And yeah, just there's no real set villain. Like, there is one villain in the end. He does become the villain. He's like, I'm the villain now. I used to be the good guy, but now I'm the villain because I turned on one of my friends and let him get bit by a spider. I'm sorry, guys, for all the spoilers, but like I said, I will put that description up in my video, that there will be spoilers. So I just don't want you to just watch it. Don't waste your time with this film, okay? If I was to really delve into it, like, this film is just not worth your time. It's not worth an hour and a half of your time. So yeah, this is how much time I spent on this film. I could shit on this film as much as I want. I've already named all the points of things I didn't like. The fact that that the director didn't like the shape of the anaconda head from the last film because it looked cartoonish. He wanted to change it all completely, so he did and made it look less credible than it already did. Yes, the old film it was a bit silly, but they did get the shape of it right. There were just things that they didn't do right. Like the eyes were a bit fucked up. Like the eyes weren't exactly the way it should have been, but the colors were all right there. They were all really good, and I liked it. And I'm sure people who are avid snake lovers like me can see that they're like, oh well, they got the snake design right. That's good. So yeah, like, and the fact that they're in Borneo and anacondas are not primarily in Borneo. I even looked up on Google, and Google even said they don't live in Borneo, and that it's in Southeast Asia, and these snakes are more found in South America in the Amazon jungle. So explain that to me. If anyone wants to contest me about that, feel free to. Anyway, so I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 10. There are some okay parts, but there are really a lot of bad parts that you don't want to see in this film. It is not worth your time. It is not worth your money. I watched it. I used to like it as a kid, but only because I liked snake films like that. I was a bit weird like that. And yeah, that's about it, really, guys. There's not much else to this film. It's uninteresting characters. Anacondas are done okay, but not really. They're okay 30% of the time, and 70% of the time they're just a bit fucked up and weird. And yeah, just there's a lot of things that just fuck up in the film. The CGI was good, the boat scene was great, and there are good scenes in it, just not all. There's just a far few of them in the film that to actually make you enjoy this review of my review of Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. If you enjoyed this review, please hit a like on the video. If you want to see more content, subscribe and wait. I'll be releasing the head-to-head clash of the Anaconda films. So I'll finally have a bit of a discussion about the first Anaconda versus the one I just released today. So thank you again, guys, for tuning in. Expect more. The BFG review will be coming out, as well as my TV review for the month. So thank you again, guys, for tuning in, and stay tuned for more. Thank you, guys.